In the year 2000, the United Nations launched 8 Millennial Goals that were expected to be accomplished by 2015. I will be reviewing the reality of these goals and how far we have come, especially through the eyes of my adopted country, Seychelles. The first millennial goal was to eradicate extreme poverty and hunger. According to the UN, in order to be in extreme poverty, you must be living under $1.25 a day. As pictured in the infograph, since 1990, our extreme poverty rates have been cut in half throughout the world. In 2013, Seychelles only had 8.6% of people who were undernourished, underweight, and hungry, which is half of the previous number. Worldwide, however, 1 in 9 people still remain hungry. The second millennial goal was to achieve universal primary education by ensuring that boys and girls would be able to complete a full course of primary schooling. Seychelles worked hard to accomplish this goal by requiring that all children were to attend school until they were 16 years old. Education is free for all children until the age of 18. Books are included in that education. However, uniforms are required, and they are at the expense of each family. For higher education, the first university in Seychelles opened in 2009. The third millennial goal was to promote gender equality and empower women. Seychelles is quite unique in the world because traditionally they practiced a matriarchal society, meaning that women were the head of the households and even held positions of leadership in businesses and in the government. Sadly, today, as Seychelles is turning away from their traditional roots, the women are experiencing more and more domestic violence. The fourth millennial goal was to reduce child mortality. In Seychelles, the number of infants who died under the age of 1 went from 17 babies out of 1,000 in 1990 to 11 babies out of 1,000 in 2009. That may not seem like a large improvement in just under 20 years, but for each individual family, a child that lives is a miracle. The main cause of death in Seychelles for children under the age of 5 is prematurity. Because of the overwhelming cost of incubators, keeping a premature baby's body temperature regulated is nearly impossible in developing countries. Thankfully, Jane Chen, both a Harvard and Stanford graduate, has co-founded a nonprofit company called Embrace. She saw the need to keep babies warm and helped to invent a product that is extremely low cost, portable, reusable, and sanitary. Through her knowledge, compassion, and awareness, she has been able to bring hope to thousands of families across the world. The fifth millennial goal was to improve maternal health. Because Seychelles is a matriarchal society and because they have recently socialized their health care, many mothers have regular access to healthcare providers, doctors, and midwives during and after their pregnancies, which increases the odds to have a healthy mother and baby. The sixth millennial goal was to combat HIV and AIDS, malaria, and other diseases. Only 0.87% of the general population has HIV. Malaria is not an endemic in Seychelles, and most of the reported cases are from tourists. Because it is an island country and has such a small population, it is not infected with many of the other diseases common on the African continent. The seventh millennial goal was to ensure environmental sustainability. This is a topic that's especially close to me, and I'm excited to talk about it in regards to Seychelles. Because it is an island, most of the environmental damage comes from severe weather that causes flooding, landslides, and falling rocks that damage much more than homes and businesses. The roads, waterways, sewage systems, bridges, crops, and farms are all affected as well. As far as possible human damage, over 50% of the land in Seychelles is under governmental protection, so the human impact is minimal. There are environmental plans in place to rebuild the currently damaged land and water areas in Seychelles, and to prevent damage from happening again. The eighth millennial goal is for global partnership for development. Seychelles is amongst one of the smallest countries in population in the world. The largest step they have made is through their tourism companies in bringing people to the islands. As far as a global partnership, I think Seychelles is developing rapidly within the country, but is still trying to find its place in the global economic and political world. Seychelles is certainly not perfect, but they have come far in their accomplishment for the millennial goals. They are working hard to achieve them through policies and government regulations. The post-millennial goals are more abstract, and they're going to be more difficult to track. The Millennial goals were more concrete, and we were able to better assess and to record numbers so that we could track their progress. Seychelles' main focus is going to be on creating a sustainable environment because of their fragile islands that are greatly impacted by the various environmental possibilities. Education and promoting a healthy lifestyle are among the applications that Seychelles is using in order to take the global goals and make sure that they're attainable on their country's level. They are going to continue investing in the future by focusing on mothers and children, and will continue implementing educational and occupational opportunities. The people of Seychelles are seeking peace and stability in their country on all levels of government.
The future is coming, you gotta catch it if you can. The magic's unfolding, and you can hold it in your hand. We can touch tomorrow today, make some memories that never fade